Hi, can you guys hear me? What's up, everybody? So wait, I'm about to be on screen. I'm trying to get set up. Full transparency, guys. I just got home. I would literally walked in the house at 9 o'clock. So pardon my tardiness. I apologize, but here I come. All right, y'all. I am trying to get TikTok set up. Hi, y'all. What's up? What's up? How y'all doing today? Okay. So I don't know if you guys heard me what I said at first, but to just I guess run everybody up. Yeah, I had just walked in the house. I'm gonna be honest. I had just walked in my house. I had got stuck in traffic. I was supposed to be back here by like 8 something. Traffic and all of that. So I was walking in my house at like 9:02, which is why I'm late. So I apologize about that. I didn't even clean up my background. So if y'all see something, whatever. But yeah, so today we are going to talk about how to dispute charge-offs. So today will only be about charge-offs. Somebody said, do you have your wine? So look, I had went out to eat and I just took the drink from there and poured it in my wine cup. So yeah, it's a margarita, but yeah. Okay, yeah. So look, we're gonna get started because I'm already late and I hate to waste you guys' time. So, welcome to Road to 750's YouTube channel. And today I'm doing a free webinar. And today the topic is going to be how to properly dispute charge-offs. Charge-offs are one of those things that I see as a credit educator and as a person who specializes in, credit reports and repairing them and all of that. I see a lot of mistakes as it pertains to charge-offs. And I think the biggest mistake is that people treat their charge-offs the same as they treat the collection agent or collections. And there are two different things. There are two different things they have. It's two different scales. It's like charge-offs are worse, and so you have to handle them a particular way. And also you have to know when you shouldn't be sticking your foot in the water because you're gonna get bit, because charge-offs are volatile. But we'll get into that as we get into the details. What up, TikTok? If you guys are on TikTok, make sure that if you want to join and see the free webinar, it's on YouTube. The free webinar is on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna hop right in. Let me share my screen. Well, wait, we ain't even started right. I'm tripping. Frazzled. How are you guys doing today? Like, how was y'all day? What's the vibes? Do y'all have y'all wine? Like, what's up? Because we was just gonna jump right in. My bad. Do y'all have y'all wine glasses and all that? Again, if you're on TikTok, make sure you go to the YouTube channel, which is Road to 750, and you'll be able to see my screen. You'll be able to see the full webinar that we are about to put on. And today's topic is going to be how to properly dispute charge-offs. So I'll be showing the letters and every single thing that you guys will need to properly dispute your charge-offs, and as well as, educate you guys on it. So make sure you come over to the YouTube channel, which is Road to 750. All right, so y'all doing good. Y'all got y'all wine. Okay, cool. So we're going to do a little toast. And then we're going to get started. Toast to y'all on TikTok too. And we're going to get started. I hope you guys have your books and pens and whatever else notes that you want to take, because we're gonna get into some things today. Okay. Let me share my screen. Yeah, it was strawberries. It's a lot of strawberry seeds in there. So if y'all see me I hate when they put too many. Okay, so how to properly dispute charge-offs. Let's get started. Okay, so for starters, as always, let's identify what a charge-off is, because again, a lot of people will confuse them with collections or think that they're on the same kind of like totem pole in the same stage as a collection, and it's just not. So the difference between, well, first of all, a charge-off is an entry on your credit report that indicates that a creditor, after trying and failing multiple times, has failed to make you pay back the debt. Like, so you took out a loan or you took out a credit card or you borrowed money in some form or fashion from a creditor, and for whatever reason that money was not paid back. Typically speaking, before a company would charge off an account, they'll typically let it like sit for like 6 months. Most companies, because nowadays since the pandemic, a lot of companies they've been charging y'all off after 90 days, but that's not typical, and I hope it's not something that is going to stay. But for the most part, companies will at least give you about 180 days before they charge off the account. Technically speaking, a charge off is when the original creditor, so for instance, like let's say you have a Capital One credit card and you didn't pay the Capital One credit card, and then Capital One decides after so many phone calls and mail messages and mailing you, they realize that you're not going to pay them the money back. So it's tax time, it's end of the year time. In order to not take a loss in their revenue, they will have to write your account off as a loss. So in business, there's a thing called profit and loss. Your profit is obviously what you have made, and then your losses is all of the financial losses that you've taken. Your charge off is just a reflection of that. The company taking a revenue loss and they write it off so that they don't have to pay taxes on that money. You know, one of the biggest misconceptions with charge offs is that people think, because it's so many like viral posts that's going around, and it's saying, you know, once an account is charged off, you're not responsible for it because the company, you know, wrote it off on their taxes and da-da-da. That's not true. It is true that the company wrote it off on their taxes. However, you still have full responsibility for your charged off account. Ask everyone who has gotten sued over a charged off account. Just because the company charged off your account does not mean that you are rid of the responsibility of the account. That is not what happens. In fact, even after it's charged off, the company sometimes will still try to collect on it, but they'll do it in a way where they'll sell the account to a collection agency. But we'll get into that in a second. But just to clarify what a charge off is, it is a derogatory account. So it is a bad account, and it does have a negative impact on your credit score. But as it pertains to collections, a charge off is actually considered worse. It's actually considered, other than a public record of bankruptcy, it's actually considered the worst type of account that you can have on your credit report, right? So that's pretty much all you need to know in terms of charge offs and what it is, like how to identify it. And remember, only the original creditor can charge off in an account. A collection agency can't charge off an account. It's not their account to charge off. They can't take tax ramifications on an account that they don't own. Okay? So, all right. Can y'all see this? Because I don't know why it's not showing me. It's on YouTube, guys. It's Road to 750 on YouTube if you want to like see the presentation. Okay. All right, so facts about charge-offs. Again, you are 100% responsible for the debt even after it was charged off. I'm going to repeat that. You are 100% responsible for the debt even after it was charged off. You're not going to typically get a goodwill adjustment on a charge off. So if you are not familiar with what a goodwill adjustment is it's a method in which you can get late payments updated through companies that you are doing business with. The reason why goodwill adjustments don't work on charge offs is because after an account was charged off, it's a bit blurry. You may have to turn your phone to the side and push the little 3 buttons and then push view in a higher quality. Your camera is small. Yeah, I know my picture is small because I ain't important. I need y'all to like see just the, the presentation. Y'all don't really need to see me. It's the presentation that's, the most important part. But anyways, no goodwill adjustments on charge-offs because the account was charged off. And again, they have taken tax. They have written it off on their taxes. They can't then go back and adjust a late payment, which is what a goodwill adjustment is. So you'll be wasting your time and efforts asking original creditor to erase your late payments on a charged off account. It just won't happen, right? And another thing, there is no chance of the account reopening. It's not possible for a charged off account to ever be a positive account ever again. It doesn't even matter if you satisfy the full balance. It doesn't matter if the company decides to give you another chance and they say you can open up another credit card. The next credit card that you open will be an entire new account. This particular account that was charged off can never reopen. And I wanted to put that because, again, companies typically will wait at least 6 months before they charge off an account. During that time, they'll be trying to contact you. They'll be trying to get you to pay something. You can save yourself from charge-offs, even if, let's say, you're 90 days late on your credit card, right? Instead of allowing it to go past 120 days late, make at least one payment, and then work your way down so that it does not get charged off. A charge off is no light thing to have on your credit report, and they are the hardest things to get deleted. So if you can avoid it, avoid it. I rather, obviously you wouldn't want any, but I mean, a collection is better than having a charge off, and it's easier to deal with. It's easier to get deleted. It's just a less of a headache. So if you can avoid having a charge off, avoid getting a charge off. Okay. But that's in a perfect world. By the time you're watching this, you probably already have a charge off, and now you like, what the hell do I do next? And that's what we're going to talk about today. But for the people who now, you are already 90 days late on your credit card. You already know that. Instead of allowing it to go another month in the rear, and potentially having the company charge it off after it's about 4 months at that point in the rear, at least make one payment. Obviously if you can, or you're going to get a charge off. So, when it comes to charge offs and mortgages, charge-offs are weighed heavy in mortgage lending decisions. So most lenders will require you to deal with your charge-offs, especially if the balance is over $1,500. So most really nowadays, they're really like, you got to deal with all the charge-offs. But there are still some, not real estate agents, but banks, underwriters and stuff like that will accept charge-offs that are lower than $1,500, depending on the situation, depending on if you have maybe a payment arrangement set up or whatever. But when it comes to if you are in the mortgage department, if you are in the home buying department, and you have charge-offs, you want to take care of those. Taking care of those can look like you sending settlement letters so that you can at least settle it. Even if it's not deleted off your credit profile, you showing that you have paid or settled the account to your real estate agent or underwriter or whatever, will show good faith. A lot of them will go ahead and omit it, or they'll accept that. It's not impossible to get a house with a charge off, is what I'm trying to say, but it's typically going to be impossible if you just let them sit, because no mortgage lender wants to see just open charge offs that are not paid, because open charge offs tend to lead to open lawsuits, and they don't want anything to jeopardize, obviously, your money or the property. So if you have open charge offs, they're likely going to, force you to deal with those. So that's obviously, no realtor is the same. Not every realtor or bank is the same, and they don't have the same qualifications. So I'm obviously going to give you just a broad overview. You're going to have to take care of your charge off. So you got to deal with them. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I think I could turn my camera. Yeah, I can see the screen. Let me see. See if I could just sit it. My bad. No, that's too little. Yeah, that's too little. Okay. If unpaid can result in you having to claim it as a 1099. So it is tax season. A lot of you guys have been receiving 1099-Cs in the mail, and you're like, what the hell is this? So a 1099-C is also known as a cancellation of debt. It's a tax form that companies will send you if they charged off your account or if you owe them money. The federal limit, I want to say, it's $600. If you owe a company more than $600, I could be, it's maybe $600 or $700. I don't know. But if you owe them more than about $600 to $700, they legally have to send you a 1099-C. You have to claim that as income. So that's another part of charge-offs that, a lot of people don't talk about. When you settle those, or if you just neglect to pay them, and this is especially essential for repossessions, I see it all the time, you're going to have to claim that as income, meaning you're going to have to pay taxes on that, or it will affect your tax refund if you get it, or if you owe the IRS, it will likely increase what you owe. So keep that in mind. It's called a 1099-C or cancellation of debt. And then also, it's best to settle whether it's deleted or not. So you guys hear me talking about collections a lot, and about warning you guys against just going ahead and paying your collections and expecting things that are not going to happen, like your credit score is not going to really increase by just going ahead and paying a collection if it's not deleted, right? But when it comes to charge-offs, again, because they are not the same as collections, they pose a bigger risk. So charge-offs are one of the things that, even if it's not deleted, it is still better settled even if it's still on your credit report, right? In a perfect world, the charge-off would be deleted, of course, But we don't live in a perfect world, and charge-offs are very hard to deal with, especially depending on the company that you are dealing with. So a lot of times you be having to settle them, and it is what it is. No pay to deletes. So again, it's not typical you're going to get a pay to delete on a charge-off, because pay to deletes are typically going to only work with collection agencies, and a charge-off is still with the original creditor. So that's the biggest difference between a collection and a charge-off. The charge-off, a charged-off account is still with the original creditor. So meaning it's still with Capital One, it's still with American Express, it's still with Bank of America, whoever you have the charge-off with, they still own the account. So when you are disputing a charge-off and stuff like that, and you're asking the company who the account is theirs to validate or verify an account, they obviously can send you all of the required documentation, which is why charge-offs are super hard to get deleted, right? So pay to deletes are not typically going to fly with that, because a lot of companies don't care. Like, they're not a collection agency. They don't make their money solely off trying to collect this one particular debt on you. So they don't have a horse in that race. They're like, listen, you're gonna pay it or you're gonna get sued. Like, we're not gonna be negotiating. Now, they will negotiate a settlement, but it's very rare that they'll give you a pay to delete. What if it says collection and charge off? So I'll address that in just a second. Okay, so there are different types of charge-offs, and y'all know I categorize everything because there is a difference with every single thing that can be on your credit report. It's different from the next. Like, we have to stop grouping certain things because the way that you handle them are so different. So this is how I categorize charge-offs. So you have high balance charge-offs, you have low balance charge-offs, you have paid charge-offs, you have transferred or sold charge-offs, or you have charge-offs that has not been transferred or sold, right? So let me specify those. High balance charge-offs are going to be any charge-off above $1,500. So if it's a repossession, it doesn't have to be a repossession. It could be a credit card or whatever. If the total amount that you owe, still the remaining balance is over $1,500, that is considered a high balance charge-off. If the balance is below $1,500, then that is considered a low balance charge-off. What are the differences between the two? Obviously, the price, but the risk level. When it comes to high balance charge-offs, those are going to be the ones that you see in courtrooms. Those are going to be the ones that are going to end up suing the consumer, whoever charge-off it is. Those are going to be the typical ones that ends in court. So they pose a higher risk than a low balance charge-off. A lot of times companies won't even take you to court unless the balance is over $1,000, because it has to be worth it for them. It has to be worth it. So you're not really going to see them taking you to court. I mean, not really, because it can happen. You're not really going to see them taking you to court over like $200, $300. Before y'all come in here like, I got sued over that. It can happen, and a company was probably like a smaller company, so it mattered. But most companies are not going to send you to court over $200 to $300 because they have to pay to even summon you to court. Like, it has to be worth it for them. It has to be worth it. Guys, I'm ignoring your questions that I'm going to address. Hold on, let me get through it, because y'all asked some questions that is I'm gonna address it. So just give me. We only on slide 3, so give me a second. I need water. And then, like I said, the low balance charge off has a balance of below $1,500. So those are typically going to be credit card. I typically see like credit card charge offs, or trying to think of what any account can be charged off, but like, low balance charge offs. And then you have paid charge offs, which, as it sounds, these are going to be charge offs that you have either paid or settled. So regardless if you settled it for less than you owe or paid the full balance, if it now reflects a zero balance, it's considered paid. If any payment was received on the account, whether that was a full payment or a settled amount, or percentage of the payment, then that is considered a paid charge off. Transferred or sold charge offs. So this is going to be the ones that you guys probably see a lot on your credit reports. A lot of people don't realize that after a company charge off an account, some will then choose to sell it to a debt buyer, not a collection agency, a debt buyer, right? A debt buyer is essentially like a collection agency, except they typically will only buy accounts that were previously charged off. And they do this because, again, it's easier to sue you on a charged off account because they're getting the information directly from the original creditor. And there's more money in that. So companies like Midland Funding, LVNV, Portfolio Recovery, those are companies that, they do some collection activities, but they are primarily known as like debt buyers. They literally will most of their accounts are probably charged off accounts. Which is why I like to joke and call them a one-trick pony. They typically would just send you to court. If you ever had any of them on your credit report, you probably were summoned to court, probably, because that's typically all they would do. Is the second they get that account, they got the information that they need, they'll send it to court. Not all, but especially if you start like challenging them and stuff like that, they'll definitely send it to court. And then you have a not transfer charge off, which, like I said, is exactly how it sounds. It's just a charge off that has been sitting there. So you will have some companies and some accounts that they just don't care enough to continue to try to sell it and to recuperate some of the funds. And depending on the balance and stuff like that, they'll just let it sit there and it'll just be a charge off on your credit report. It'll never progress into a collection. It'll just literally be sitting there and it just won't move. So it all depends on the company and stuff like that and the account. But if it's not worth it for companies, a lot of times they won't even sell your charge off accounts. It'll just sit. Okay. LVMB is taking me to court. LVMB take everybody to court because they're debt buyer. That's all they do. That's all they do. But go to court. Go to court. Go to court. It's not scary. Just go to court. Okay, so now let's talk about disputing charge-offs. And this is where it's going to get controversial because I guarantee you my opinion is probably not the same as what you have been hearing. But you guys know I can't even fake it. Like, we got to just keep it real, okay? I'm not going to say, dreams or none of that. So when it comes to high balance charge-offs, my dispute method personally for those is to avoid them. If the balance is over $1,500 and it's still within the statute of limitations, I personally don't touch them because I know that they are risky. I know that the chance of that person being sued or whoever, whatever, is high. So it's just not a chance that I'm willing to take, especially if it's still within the statute of limitations. Okay. So again, if you have a charge off and the balance is over $1,500 and you dispute that, just keep in mind that be prepared. Just be prepared to go to court, because if you're willing to take that risk, then take it. But I just have to let you, make you aware of, what you're getting yourself into. Because a lot of times those are the ones that end up in court. For low balance charge-offs, my dispute method is going to be for the first round, I'm always going to send a bureau reinvestigation letter. And I'll show you guys this just in a second. This is just like a screenshot for you guys to take. But low balance charge-offs, I'm gonna always start with a bureau reinvestigation. Then if it's not deleted as a result of the first round, which it never is, I'm going to go ahead and send a round 2 letter, which is essentially a bureau reinvestigation follow-up. Your second round letter should always be a follow-up from the previous round. Also, your third round should also be a follow-up. And we'll get into the details of that in just a second. But one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people making is when they're disputing their credit reports is they'll start a dispute and then it's not deleted and then they'll go in a whole different direction. So now they're thinking they're on round 2, but really they're still on round 1 because this is a whole new investigation from what your first letter was claiming. So that's the risk of just sending random letters that like you find on the internet. If they don't coincide with what you already sent, you literally are wasting your time. Like you're wasting your time. So that's just something to keep in mind. When it comes to paid charge-offs, as with collections, whenever you pay for a charge off for any derogatory account, you have legally validated that, right? So because it's already legally validated, the only thing you can do is factual dispute at that point. And we'll talk about that in just a second. When it comes to charge offs that has been transferred, and for the reference, when I say a charge off has been transferred, that means that, have you ever looked on your credit report and seen charge off / collection? And you're like, is this a charge off or is this a collection? Well, it's both because the original creditor charged off the account, but then after a while, they sold it to a collection agency. So not only is it a charge off and you still have that charge off on your credit report sitting with the original creditor, reporting all of those missed payments, even if they was years ago, is just sitting there comfy, right? Now you also have a new account, a collection that is also messing up your credit score, and it's all for this one debt. So literally one debt can create 2 negative accounts on your credit report. The only thing not the only thing, but if you have a collection on your report or a charge off on your report that says it was a collection and charge off, I need you to look at your real credit report. And I'm not talking about Credit Karma. I'm not talking about my FICO. I'm not talking about no app. If it's on the internet, I'm not talking about that. I am talking about your actual credit report, which you can get from annualcreditreport.com. I should put that on the screen. Annualcreditreport.com. when you get I need you to look at your actual credit report, and I ain't got it. And then make sure that the charged off account is reporting a $0 balance. Whenever any account is sold or transferred on your credit report, the company who sold or transferred it no longer has a legal right to claim the balance. So they have to report a $0 balance. One way that I'm able to get a lot of charge-offs deleted is because this one mistake. Companies will, let's say I always use Capital One. So let's say Capital One you had a credit card with Capital One charged off your account, right? Then Capital One sold it to ABC Collection, right? Instead of zeroing out the balance, they'll keep reporting the same balance. This is typically a systematic error. So it's not like a person is like evilly like trying to do something with your credit report. No, this typically is going to happen as a result of their just like system, in terms of just like the I don't know why I'm getting a brain freeze, but that is typically a systematic error. So, but it happens a lot. So make sure when you look at your credit report, you look at all of your charge-offs. And if any of them is also a collection, make sure that it is reporting the $0 balance. And then also look at the account as well and see if it says it was sold or transferred. If it's missing either or, then that is a factual dispute that you can potentially use to get the account deleted. I have gotten so many charge-offs deleted just from that simple mistake that the credit bureaus always make. And then another thing is they'll either zero out the balance, but they will never put that it was sold or transferred. That's also another factual error that you can use to challenge. And then the last type of charge-off is going to be the non-transfer charge-off, which you will dispute the same way as a low balance charge-off. And again, we'll go into the details in just a second, but this is kind of like an overview. What about collections? I did a live on collections the other day. It's still up on the YouTube channel. It's a full webinar as well, so you can go ahead and watch that. Okay, I already answered this question, but we're going to go over it again because it's in a presentation. So what is the difference between a charge-off and a collection? So a charge-off account is still owned by the original creditor, while a collection account is typically owned by a third-party entity. After an account is charged off, it can be sold to a debt buyer and turned over to collections. So that's just the process that I just explained. I don't want you guys to get confused. If such thing happens, the charged off account must report a $0 balance and indicate that it was sold or transferred. It takes 6 months of delinquency to charge off an account. So again, typically speaking, a company is not going to charge off an account before the account has at least reached 180 days past due, typically. This is not in the laws though, so they can definitely still charge it off after like 90 days or 4 months or 5 months, but for the most part, on average, they definitely will typically wait about 6 months before they charge it off, unless like it's the end of the year and stuff like that. It all depends. Okay, so now let's get to the question of the freaking night and why we are here. How do you actually dispute a charge off? So y'all know I have to pull up the letters. Give me a second. So some of the letters is going to be the same as the collection, especially the Bureau of Investigation, but I'm gonna show it again because I don't think that everyone was tuned in. So I'll go ahead and pull it up again and then we'll go from there. Let me see. All right, so let me share my screen. Hold on, y'all know I gotta make it freaking bigger. Hold on. Yes, it's on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, go over to the YouTube page, which is Road2750, ROADTO750. And we are live on YouTube. And you get to see the screen. You get to see the letters that I'm about to show as well. But you got to go over to YouTube to see it. Okay. Oh, shit. Y'all, I'd be forgetting that y'all don't be looking at my screen. Let me pull it up. Okay. Can y'all see that? Okay, wait, no, I see y'all still looking at that. Okay, here it goes. I'm gonna make it bigger. I know it's quite small. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So this is a Bureau of Investigation letter. So to remind you, this is the first round letter. If you have any collection accounts or any charge-off accounts, your dispute process should start with this letter or a letter that is like this, which is basically just a letter of you requesting an investigation for the accounts that you have in question. So it would be your collection accounts or your charge-off accounts. If I can give you one piece of advice, I would put my collections on one letter and then I will put my charge-offs on another letter. I personally don't mix them, but I mean, I've definitely seen people still be successful with mixing them. I just don't mix them. It's just, I don't know. I'll be wanting them to be on their own dispute process because the follow-up letters are different. So that's just kind of like me. So I would break them up personally. Yeah, I'll show y'all because y'all talking about. Let us see real quick. But y'all gotta go over to YouTube. This is the last letter I'm gonna show y'all on TikTok. This is the Bureau of Investigation letter, which is the first round letter. And it's super short, it's super simple, and literally all you're doing is asking the credit bureaus for an investigation. It's the same first round letter as a collection, or any other derogatory account on your credit report, which is just you simply saying, hey, can you investigate this account? You not giving a particular dispute reason, you just literally requesting an investigation. That's all. Don't ever start off with a factual dispute. Don't ever start off telling them what you feel like is wrong with the account. Because again, when you tell them, when you come out the gate telling them, hey, I need you to investigate this account because the balance is wrong, or I need you to investigate this account because I have it's wrong in any sort of way. All they're going to do, instead of giving you a full investigation, all they're going to do is zero in on what you are claiming is wrong, and that's all they have to investigate. So you never, ever, ever want to come out the back already pointing out what's wrong on your credit report, because the burden of proof is not on you as a consumer. It is on the credit bureaus. So why are you doing their job for them? No, we're not doing that. So, hey, can you investigate these accounts? Right? And again, the same with collections. When you send the first round letter, it's not really for deletions. It's typically just there to serve as a placeholder so that you can later on down the line come in and hit them with the hard hitters. So just request an investigation, right? And I'm gonna already tell y'all what's gonna happen. As soon as you send this letter, they're gonna do their investigation time, da 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 da. And what they're gonna say is, hey, we did this investigation and we have found that the item is verified. They're gonna say, we contacted whoever the creditor is and blah blah blah, and they said everything is accurate, so we're gonna leave it on your credit report, right? That's first round. We already know that they don't really give you investigations like they should. We already know the credit bureaus are not on your side. So because we know this, we play their game with them. So what do you do after your charge off was verified? What do you follow up with? Does a charge off have to be a certain age before you dispute it? No. Nor does a collection. A collection can hit your report yesterday and you could be sending out the dispute letter today. All right. So then again, because we do not because we do not expect deletions on round one ever, we're going to go ahead and already prepare our round two letter, because we know that whenever the credit bureaus reply to us, we want to reply back to them within 15 business days. Stop waiting a month. Stop waiting 2 months. Stop waiting so long to respond to them, because all you're doing is restarting over the investigation. It's no longer a continuation. It's no longer that. So again, meanwhile, you stressed out because you like, I done sent these people 7 letters, or I done sent these people 3 letters and I'm just not getting any results. What am I doing wrong? It's probably because you waiting too long. You starting new investigations. You thinking you on rounds 4 and 5. Really, you still on round 1 because you keep restarting your own investigation. And another thing y'all got to stop doing. Actually, explain to me why y'all do this. Why do y'all be calling the credit bureau asking them for updates on y'all investigation as if the customer service representatives are the ones that's conducting the investigations? Stop doing that, because any point of contact with the credit bureau can be used to extend your investigation time legally, guys. The laws. If it's blurry, click the 3 dots and put higher quality, that because that's on your phone, so you'll have to adjust the quality. What was I finna say? I don't even know what I was finna say. Well, I forgot what I was finna say. What was I saying? I'll answer some questions. Or wait, yeah, so that's what I was saying. No, I wasn't talking about. So yeah, never go with the reason, because you want them to theoretically check every single thing on the account, right? So they're gonna come back and say, hey, this was verified, right? And then what you need to do is say, okay, because we're not gonna be mean, we're just gonna follow up. We're gonna say, okay, because we know our rights. I'm gonna have to make the second letter a little smaller because it's, well, can y'all see that clearly? The only thing that's cut off is the signature part. I feel like, is that needed, or it's literally just the best regards? But yeah. Oh, don't call the bureaus. Yes, stop calling the bureaus, because legally, any point of contact can legally add 15 days to your investigation process, right? And also, obviously, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Not the court of law, but yeah. Seriously, stop calling them. It's not like the customer service representatives are doing your investigation. They don't know anything more than you know. They just see that it's in investigation or it's done, right? Calling them is not doing anything for you. Y'all be debating on the phone with these customer service reps. Y'all be going off on them people. They there to do a job. They there to answer the phone. Like, I get, like, I'm not even trying to be funny in any sense of the imagination. If you work for them, I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but there have been multiple occasions that I have called the credit bureaus and the representative couldn't even tell me what the difference between FICO and Vantage was. They're not there to be credit educators. Like, honestly, they're literally just customer service rep. Not literally just, not, I'm not trying to reduce them to just customer service reps, but I'm saying they don't got nothing to do with your investigation. So stop bothering them people with your investigation. There's a whole dispute department that doesn't have a phone that you can't even reach for a reason. Stop calling them, because all you're doing is extending your investigation. All you're doing is extending it. You being impatient, it don't matter. Like, really, truly speaking, like, they get over 10 million letters a year, right? Each credit bureau. They don't care that you sent your letter before Tamara or what. They don't care about none of that. Like, literally, you have to be patient in this process and you have to be consistent. That's the only way you're gonna win. And then when y'all be sending other letters, again, you are starting your investigation over. Any point of contact can be a legal way for them to stall you, number one, because all they can do is say that you're being frivolous. Because keep in mind, just as we have consumer rights, they have rights too. If you continue to contact them about the same account in the same way, they're going to mark you frivolous, meaning that anytime you request an investigation or anything, they're not going to do it. They're going to literally keep sending you stall letters saying, hey, we refusing to investigate this and da-da-da. You have to stop contacting them. Send your letter and let your letter do the talking for you. Wait, because it used to be 30 days. It used to be 30 business days, but since the pandemic and since the CFPB is not on our side, they have given them they have given them about 60 business days. And honestly, even that is not regulated, because even if you file a dispute and let's say the credit bureaus it's been over 60 days, the CFPB are not holding them. They're not holding them accountable. I said your name, Tamara. They're not holding them accountable. So it's pointless. It's kind of like one of those things, like, yes, it's annoying. Yes, it can and should piss you off. What are you going to do about it though? Because it's like no one, there's no regulations around it right now, because the only thing that the credit bureaus are still claiming is we're still behind because of COVID. So yeah, it's taking longer because we're still behind. They're still using that excuse. So therefore, don't waste your time trying to say, hey, I sent my letter 30 days ago. No. Okay, so this is the round 2 letter. Whenever you prepare your first round letter, I always tell people that go ahead and just copy the same accounts and put them on your second round letter, because we already are going to assume that your first round is not going to get you deletions. Now because I did see a few comments like, you be sleeping on the round 1 letter because I got a few deletions. I know a lot of people get deletions on the first round. I just don't want you to expect it. Because it's not the norm. If you get a deletion, amazing, like, cool. On the first round, amazing, cool. But like, if you don't, I don't want you to think that you're doing anything wrong. Even if your sister got deletions on the first round and you didn't, doesn't mean you're not doing anything wrong. I mean, doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong if you don't get deletions, especially on the first round. Okay. So the second letter is you formally disagreeing with them, because, and I don't want to, you guys know I don't like to get too lawsy on you and go down the boring rabbit hole of that. We can, but whatever. When it comes to disputing your credit report, Section 611 gives you a consumer the ability to dispute any account on their credit report that they even believe in any sense of the imagination could be wrong. You don't even have to have a specific reason why you want an investigation. You are just entitled to it if you request it, right? But also, in addition to that, if you don't agree with their investigation, you have the right as a consumer to challenge their investigation, right? So challenging their investigation is this. This letter says that, hey, I'm in this is basically, to sum up this letter is, hey, TransUnion, I shout out to you because thank you for doing the investigation. However, I disagree with it. Like, so I'm in disagreement with the items that's listed below, even after your investigation. Because I disagree with this, I am requesting that you reinvestigate this account, right? So again, this letter is not pointing out anything that's wrong with the account. It's literally just saying, hey, I disagree with it. Like, thank you for doing the investigation, but I disagree with it. So do me a favor and run that investigation back. Cause like, you ain't sent me nothing. All you sent me was this account was verified, but you never told me how. You didn't you ain't give me nothing. So I don't believe you. And you don't have to believe them because it is your right to question their investigation. And you should, because they don't be giving you investigations. They literally get your letter, send it through OCR, and then send it through eOscar to the system. The investigation be done in like 2 days, but sometimes they'll wait to try to make it seem like they've done this whole extensive investigation just to say, hey, this account is verified. They don't really do investigations anymore. But we know that, so we're gonna literally deal with them exactly how we supposed to. So hey, I disagree with this, reinvestigate it, and then holler at me when you're done. It's basically what this letter says. So this is round 2. You send round 2, let's say 40 days pass, 50 days pass, and you get the results back in the mail from the credit bureaus. And by the way, because I just seen this question, when I am telling you guys to print letters, you always have to print 3 letters. So you have to send a letter to every single credit bureau. They're all on their own page, like they're not on the same page. So sometimes you'll have TransUnion deleting something in the first round, and then maybe Experian won't delete it until like the 3rd round. So you have to understand that these are 3 separate investigations. So you want to make sure that every single letter that you send to TransUnion, you send to the other 2 credit bureaus, because you got 3 credit reports that you have to keep up with and maintain. So, you want all of them to be in a healthy place, and not just one. The letters are on YouTube. Yeah, the letters are on YouTube. You have to go to YouTube to see my screen. Well, here, the child I just said I wasn't going to show y'all. This is the 2nd round letter. Can you see the first letter again? Yeah, give me 1 second. Right, so you have to address each bureau. So basically, when you are filling out your letters, literally just go ahead and print 3. Like every single letter that you do, just go ahead and print 3, because you're gonna have to send them to them anyway. Can you show us the addresses? Yeah, let me show the addresses real quick to the I thought I was controlling. Hold on. Can y'all tell I'm sleepy? I'm sleepy tonight. Okay. Here's the addresses. Can you talk about cleaning your personal information? Yes. Okay. Can y'all see that? That's the 3 addresses. Let me show y'all. Screenshot that real quick, and then we'll move on. All right. Oh, my bad, y'all. I had missed some super chats. Shit, my bad, y'all. I wasn't even looking at the chat because I was looking at the presentation. Thank you, JB. You said, just sent my first investigation letter for charged off account. Forgot to send copies of driver's license. Should I send again ASAP? Yeah, you're gonna have to, because they're gonna probably say that they're gonna probably refuse your investigation because you failed to identify yourself. So just to be safe, I would definitely go ahead and just send it again and send the your driver's license, just because you already know what they're gonna say. You already know. And thank you. Let me see. Yeah, so these are the ones that I mail. Like, I still mail them. I never have an issue with them. Yeah, girl, I'm sleepy too. Okay, but the thing is, this not gonna be that long. Charge-offs is not gonna be nearly as long as collections because it just ain't that many options. So, um, V Love Bug, thank you, thank you, thank you. You said Synchrony Bank sold account to Capital One. How can Synchrony sell an account to Capital One? I was on a long-term payment plan. I missed last payment on the account. I had $100 left of 3,000. I paid 10.20 and charged off 12.20. Should I contact CB only or can I dispute also with Capital One? I'm so confused. V, I'm confused because what do you mean? How did Synchrony sell it to Capital One? Are you talking about they sold your charged off account to Capital One? I'm confused. How can they sell your charged off account to Capital One? Unless you're talking about something else. I think, am I too damn sleepy? Am I tripping? Because I mean, you said Synchrony Bank sold account to Capital One. That already got me puzzled because why are two original creditors selling accounts if they didn't do an acquisition? So I'm gonna wait till you respond because I don't know. Clear that up for me. All right, y'all. So back to our presentation. I'm looking for your comment, V, whenever you make it. Let's get back to the presentations. Okay. All right. Oh, let me move that. I'm gonna move that off the screen. My bad, y'all. All right. So then again, so step one is always going to be Bureau of Investigation letter. Do not send factual dispute until you are at least in the third round because again, you never want to tell them what's wrong because then you reduce your entire investigation, which also reduces your chance of deletion. Okay. So this is where it gets, I guess, interesting when it comes to charge offs. So round one, round two are just procedural rounds and just procedural letters that you should just send. But then if the charge off is still remaining in round three, which it probably will because it's a charge off, because the first rounds are just asking for validation, right? It's still with the original creditor. They typically will be able to validate the account. Now, when it gets to round three, which is the factual dispute round, this is where charge offs, like this is going to be the round between steps 3 and 4 is going to be the rounds that you're probably going to see the most deletions with charge offs. Because you are challenging the account factually, after you have already given the credit bureaus 2 chances to conduct 2 full investigations, which we're sure that they didn't do, but you've given them 2 chances, right? So now at this point, you can directly call them out. Okay, TransUnion, you up until this point, you've told me that you have investigated this account twice. I've given you 2 full chances to investigate this account. This account still has factual errors. So how was it investigated? If I can look at my credit report and see that there are errors on this account and you did 2 investigations and you didn't see that it was an error on the account, now I have reason to believe that you didn't conduct the investigation, right? So now I'm going to call you out on your charged off accounts, right? I like more than collections. I absolutely need you to get your real credit report because a lot of the errors that I find on charge off accounts they're not online. Like I'll be looking at a credit report from experience, like even the apps, because it's a reduced version of your entire credit report. You don't have all the information, so make sure you get your full credit report. I cannot stress that enough, especially if you have charge offs. So when you do get your full report, the next slide is going to be things. V, you don't have to keep sending it. I was going to wait on your comment. But when you get to factual disputes, these are the things that I typically like to challenge when it comes to charge offs because these are the things that through my experience has like basically produced the most results. All right. So these are common charge off inaccuracies. So you can go ahead and screenshot this screen. Yeah, I'm a little stuffy or whatever. I'm always stuffy, I feel like. So go ahead and screenshot this just so you know what to look for on every one of your charge offs. These are basically the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reasons or 7 7 dispute reasons that's responsible for the deletions that I see on charge offs. So you want to make sure that all of your charge-off accounts, you look at all 3 of your reports because, again, you have 3 different credit reports and they typically are always on the different pages. Repeating charge-off every month. Yeah, this is a big one. because I'm willing to bet that like at least 40% of your charge-offs have a repeated charge-off, have charge-offs repeatedly reporting, right? So look at your credit report. And if it says CO every single month, that's the issue, because every single time your account updates, your statute of limitations is extended, right? So it's not just a simple innocent, oh, they just updated your account. It was charged off last month. It's still charged off this month. No. It's not that simple. It's not that simple, because every single account change affects you. Every single account change makes it look like this charge off is newer than it is. The newer the charge off account is, the more impact it has on your credit report. So when a lender pulls your credit report and they see a charge off with, let's say the charge off is like 3 years old, and they see a charge off with a recent update, they're going to assume that charge off is recent. That's the only thing they can assume, because they're only going to go off the date of last activity. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. If your charge off is reporting CO every month, or even just C every month, you need to challenge that. 1000%. You need to challenge that. Yeah, I'm showing the templates on YouTube. You have to come over to the YouTube channel. And I'll get into the letters next. So I know y'all like, what letter to send? Give me a second. And then it says, but then the next comment, inaccuracy, that I always see on charged off accounts, not indicating when and if the account has been sold. So we discussed that earlier, but that is so common. When you look on your credit report and a charged off account is also owned by a collection agency, the original charged off account not showing that it was transferred or sold is illegal. That is illegal. That is a misrepresentation of the account status. So if you do have that on your credit report, literally say, hey, you are misrepresenting the account status. Therefore, I'm requesting you to delete this account immediately. So when it comes to factual disputes, the letter should only be three sentences at the most. It should always be you identifying what the account is. So you will put the account name, the account number. The second sentence should be you explaining what's wrong. So, hey, this account is not indicating that it was transferred or sold, and it was. And then 3, what is your desired solution? Please delete this account from my credit report immediately. So like short, sweet, to the point. Y'all gotta quit sending your factual disputes in its paragraphs. Like, come on. No. That's not how the credit bureaus like communicate. So you have to communicate with them how their systems communicate, because at the end of the day, you're talking to systems. Not reflecting a $0 balance after it was transferred or sold. So the same thing as not reflecting that it's been transferred or sold. When it is transferred or sold, it also has to report that the balance is 0 on the original account. So if Capital One sold your account to Midland Funding, the Capital One account, which is the charge-off account, has to show a $0 balance. It has to. 2 entities cannot claim the same debt at the same time. So there can never be 2 separate companies on your credit report both claiming the balance, ever, because that's considered double jeopardy. And I'll show you guys a double jeopardy letter in just a second, so that if that does apply to you, because I'm pretty sure it applies to a few of you, because that's something that I see often. Another thing is reporting inconsistent balances across the bureaus. I mean, like, if this one isn't something that happens every day, I don't know what is. The reporting inconsistent balances, if you don't look at no bureau, if you don't pull a single, you should pull your credit reports. Like, for real, I'm serious about that part. But if you don't pull a single credit report, pull Equifax credit report. That's all I'm gonna say. Pull Equifax credit report. If you don't got if you grasping for straws and you like, shit, that don't apply to me. Dang, my charge off not reporting wrong in that way, and pull your Equifax report, and I'm probably willing to bet that the balance or the date is gonna be wrong on your Equifax report, because Equifax be in their own world. Like, I don't know what they be doing. They be in their own world. I know that though. Data first delinquency illegally being changed. So the data first delinquency is, I'm not gonna go into technicalities with it, but basically what all you need to remember is the data first delinquency should reflect the month and year before it was sent to collection. So if it was sent to collections in August of 2020, March, April, May, June, July. Okay, hold on. So if it was sent to collections in August of 2020, your data first delinquency would be July of 2020. That cannot change. So even if, let's say, it's constantly being resold to different collection agencies, the date of first delinquency can't change because it's illegal. It's illegal. The date of first delinquency is going to determine how long that account can legally stay on your credit report. So again, even if, let's say, 5 different collection agencies sold this account, the date of first delinquency has to remain the same because they only got 7 years to do what they're going to do. After 7 years, no matter what state that you're in, after 7 years since the date of first delinquency, after 7 years, that account can no longer legally report on your credit report, right? And a lot of times they will. So make sure that they are not changing your date of first delinquency. And honestly, this is the hardest one to tell if you don't keep a record of your previous credit reports, because obviously your newest credit report is not going to reflect the things that they have changed. Like, they'll just show you what's currently reporting. So a thing that I personally do is, because now I totally take advantage of them allowing us to get a free copy of our credit report every week now. So because they allow us to get a free copy of our credit reports every week now, I'll get them, and I'll get them just to save them. Like, I'll literally scan them or take a picture of them and email them to myself just so I have the record of expired credit reports, just because there have been a lot of times in the past where I have had to look at an old credit report to prove what I was saying, and I've had to send them a picture of it because they're not on your side. So you have to be your own advocate, right? And then changes after 180 days. So when it comes to a charged off account is considered a dead account, dead, gone, after 180 days of it being charged off. So whatever interest, whatever changes that the original creditor is going to make on the account has to be within 180 days of them charging off the account. After that, it's it. It's a wrap. You should have, whatever you was gonna do, you should have did. Don't wait until 180 days after it was charged off to start adding your interest and stuff like that. No. Yes, they can add interest on your charged off account, but it has to be within 180 days. You're not coming back a year from now talking about, oh, we forgot to put a $50 charge. No, it does not work like that. It does not work like that. So make sure that if your charge off is over 180 days old, so basically if it's older than 6 months, there should not be a change in that account. The only exception, well, there's 2 exceptions. The only exception is if you made a payment. So obviously, if you make a payment, they have to report the change. They have to say, hey, the balance is no longer $300, it's $100 because she made a payment or whatever. If you make a payment, they can change the status, or if they sell it, they can change the status. The balance should not change after 180 days unless you've paid it. And I'm keep saying that because a lot of times what will happen is a company will do their there's no set word for it, and I don't even want to say that. But a company will basically decide that they want to add interest after 180 days, or they'll been shopping around your collection and maybe they don't get the interest that they thought they would. So then now they're like, okay, well, we got to keep this account, so now let me add a lawyer fee. And no, they cannot do that. So make sure that you are watching your charge off accounts and make sure that there are no changes being reported. CO, that's only applicable within 180 days. After the account is 180 days open, CO gotta go. Okay, they can't do that. The YouTube page is Road to 750. Okay, so here is a example of repeated charge off. So if you look at your credit report, if you look at your charged off account, and it looks like this, or it could just say, see, you get the point. Let me tell you what is wrong with this account and why this is extreme infringe on your consumer rights. So after 180 days, my bad, y'all. After 180 days, a charge off should no longer be reporting an active payment history unless you are actively making payments. Then the balance should be decreasing, right? So again, after 180 days, this account is considered dead. Therefore, it should not include an active payment history. An active payment history means that there are changes within the payment history, this portion of your credit report. It's going to be attached to every single trade line on your credit report. It's called the payment history. If there are still anything other than, now these dashes, they're okay. That just means that there was no data. This is normal for a charge off account. But let's go over why this is so ridiculous. So we can see also, I'm glad I just thought about this. Remember when we were talking about the date of first delinquency, and I told you guys that the date of first delinquency is the month before the account was charged off, right? So if you are looking, if you ever want to spot your date of first delinquency, if you pull your real credit report, you can see it. Based on this account, we can see that this account was in good standing in August, July of 2017. How did I guess those dates? I swear to you, I don't know what made me say August and July. The fact that whatever. We can see that in August of 2017, this account was charged off. Therefore, the date of first delinquency for this account will always be July of 2017, right? So then we see that this account was charged off in August, September, October, November, but then somehow in December of 2018, well, all of those months. So for over a year, it was charged off, right? And then randomly in December of 2018, the credit bureau started reporting that this charge off is on time. Green means on time. First of all, a charge off account can never go back to a positive status, right? So outside of it reporting a repeated charge off and that being wrong, this is also another factual dispute that you can send, because how on earth can a charge off account be considered active and on time? This is already factually incorrect. But what happened with this account is this account was originally charged off in July of 2017, but because the credit bureaus failed to notate this account correctly, they reopened the account in December of 2018, and basically this account was open all the way until January, February, April of 2020. So when a creditor look on their credit report, this charge off that was really from 2017 is going to look like a charge off that was from 2020. Because the date of first delinquency has changed from July of 2017 to April of 2020. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I don't want to confuse you. Do you get what I'm saying? This is factually incorrect. This is impossible. How can an account be charged off for over a year, then active for over a year, then charged off again for over a year, and then active for 1 month in March of 2021? So this person, whenever their lender pulled their credit report, their lender think that they have a charge off from March of 2001. So from last year. Meanwhile, this is an account from 2017. So you can see how much of an impact that will have on a credit decision. If you apply for credit, regardless of what your credit score is, you have a charge off within the last 12 months, the chances of you getting approved for that is going to be slim to none. Typically, you're going to automatically get denied just because you have a derogatory account within the last 12 months. So because of this ridiculous reporting, which is not uncommon at all, because I guarantee you that a lot of your reports look like this or similar, but this is just an example of how messed up that the credit bureaus can have something reporting on your credit report, and because you may not just be aware, you don't know, and you don't know why you constantly getting these denials, and you like, dang, I ain't had a charge off for a collection in years. Why am I constantly getting denied for a credit card? Yeah, you might not have had a charge off for years, but your credit report reflects that you had a charge off in March of 2021. So you want to be very, like, y'all need to be on your credit report. Like, so when I tell you guys to get your full credit reports, it's because of this. It's because of the small details that the online provider won't provide. Typically, they'll go back like 2 to 3 years. You probably wouldn't have seen a 2017 date on like an online report. So make sure you get those. Because this is completely unacceptable, completely, in more ways than one. So if this was my account, by the way, this account was actually deleted. This was a few months ago that it was deleted, but this account was eventually deleted. It was actually my sister's account. This account was eventually deleted. And what the craziest thing is, it wasn't deleted until like round 5. We would send a letter, sending the Bureau of Investigation, sent the Bureau of Investigation follow-up. The first factual dispute that I went in with was the repeated charged off status, because that's typically what I'm gonna always go with first. They wasn't messing with it. They still was kind of claiming it. So instead of, I was going to push up some more on the repeat charge off argument, but then that's when I realized, like, wait, this is wrong. So then I pointed out how it went active for a year, and then this account was deleted. This account was deleted because of that. Here's the repeat charge off letter. So if your charge off is reporting charge off, CO, whatever, then you need to send this letter, and I'll read this letter because a lot of people said they were not able to see it like clearly. So the letter says the following account was charged off as of, and you will put the date of first delinquency. So you will put the month and the year. Since then, the account has repeatedly been updated as charged off every month. This is an update in the payment history, which to my understanding, charged off accounts should not include an active payment history. Need I remind you, this also falsely manipulates the statute of limitations. I am demanding a deletion of the following account. You will put the account name, the account number. You will send a copy of your ID as with any other letter that you would send to the credit bureaus. And you will send a letter to every single credit bureau. So you will send one to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. I am missing so many of y'all chats. Yeah, I cannot see the thing when I'm looking at the I can't see the comments when I'm looking at the presentation. So I don't want you guys to think I'm ignoring you. Let me go to why it's not popping up? Yeah, I got that? Because I'm tired of holding this phone. All right. Oops. It won't turn back. Oh my TikTok is so freaking annoying. Okay. Let me get to some of these super chats. Thank you, Flaming Blaze. Thank you. And Teresa, thank you. You ain't asked no question. Thank you, Raynice. You ain't asked no question either, but thank you. Janice McCann, you said if it's a high balance charge off that it's reporting as a charge off every month, would you leave it alone since it is more risky to do a factual dispute? I would, especially it depending on the state that you're in, but I would check to see if it's still within the statute of limitations, because keep in mind the statute of limitations does vary by state. So you could be in, I think, South Carolina, or maybe I'm saying the wrong state, but I think they got like a 10-year statute of limitations. So no, Washington does. Girl, wow, this explains a lot. Yeah. I got my charge off deleted doing this exact way, but I had a cheat code because I joined Credit Boot Camp. Oh, shout out to you. Which letter? What round? Like, how long did it take you to get it deleted? Thank you, Dan. You said I have a charge off that appears twice. It's the same company, same address, different names, K Jewelers and Zelles. Same account number, same. Didn't Zelle and K join? Or am I tripping? Didn't they join forces of some sort? This ponytail pissing me off. Didn't they join? Didn't they buy them out? The reason why I'm asking is because that still wouldn't explain why they would have two different accounts. I would absolutely ask for more information on that for sure. Especially because it has the same account number. That's what's kind of making me like, how are they having the same account number? Do they buy them? I heard something about it, but I don't know. I definitely could be wrong on that. But yeah, I would look into that, because what I would do is write a letter and state, hey, these are two accounts that are Did you have two accounts? Maybe that's the first question. Did you have a Zelles and did you have a K's account? Are they actually two accounts? Or like they're really one? Thank you, Ronaldo. You said what to do when all three credit bureaus have different collections. So that's normal. All three credit bureaus are three different companies. I liken them to McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco Bell, right? They're all in the same industry. They all basically sell the same things. They all serve the same customers, but they are three different companies. So because they're three completely different companies, you do have to regard them in a separate manner. Every single time you request an investigation for one credit bureau, you're going to have to do it for the other two. It's not anything unusual that your credit reports are different. So there are a lot of times where companies will choose to report to one credit bureau or two credit bureaus as opposed to all three, because it does cost them to report anything per bureau. Some companies will just choose to report it to one or two. And that the same goes with collection. So collection agencies have to pay. Therefore, a lot of times they will only report to one or two credit bureaus and not all three. So it all depends. But that's not unusual. So basically what to do is to just challenge them separately. Challenge your collections for TransUnion, challenge your collections for Experian, challenge your collections for Equifax. I thought this was going to be the third-party entities live. No, I can do that one next, though. That one ain't going to be long. That one just, Thank you, Shantavius. V-Love. You ain't have to send another one, girl. I was looking for your name. Capital One acquires Synchrony Bank. Oh, yeah, you right. They sure did. Okay, that's what threw me off. You right. I missed one payment and the account was not 90 or 80 days late, but it still was charged off. I have disputed the Capital One. Yeah, so again, there's no law that they have to wait 180 days. That's just the average amount of time that they do wait. I am a little surprised that they charged it off after one late payment. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never seen that. Did you have a pattern of being late or something? Because that's the only way that I could see them do. I have never seen a company charge off an account after just one late payment. That is extremely unusual for one late payment. Like instead of trying to now, I don't know. Are you telling a full story? Because like, was it one late payment and then like you just never paid again, or you literally just had a 30-day late and they charged off the account? Because if that's the case, I have in all my years of doing this and the millions of credit reports I have seen, I have never seen an account be charged off after one late payment. Like that's crazy if they did that. But they is no law saying that they can't. So I want to make that clear. It's not illegal. It's just unusual. I don't even see why that would even benefit them in any way. I have a charge off that restarted this month. I tried to dispute. Now it started over. The other months are gray. It's red. What does it mean? What do you mean you had a charge off that restarted? Like it showed on time? You said I have a charge off that restarted this month. I tried to dispute now. It started over. The other months are gray. Okay, so I'm assuming no data. And then February is red. Does that mean the 6 applies to me? Is 2006 codes? Y'all be confusing me with these questions. I'm so confused. Wait. Does that mean the bulletin? Oh, you probably wrote that when I was on another slide. I don't even know what slide I even could have been on because all of them got bulletins. Dominique. So if it was gray, so no data for a while, and then it just says red. Where are you looking? Are you looking at your real credit report, or are you looking at like Credit Karma? Because Credit Karma is Credit Karma. Y'all don't say like on this slide because I don't see the comments in real time. So like if y'all referencing something that I'm showing on the screen, I'm gonna see it like way later, and I'm gonna be like super lost on knowing what you're asking. If a charge off is settled, is the payment history deleted when it's marked closed? If not, once it's settled, can I dispute the credit bureau for reporting the payment to C? Good question. So no. Whenever an account is charged off, or even when the account is closed, the payment history on that account is still relevant to your credit score and your credit report. So it's still going to be calculated into your payment history. Lenders are still going to see it if they look for any late payments. So it's still going to be very much present. It's just the account is going to be closed. And then your second question was, once it's settled, can I dispute the credit bureau? Yeah. So even after it's settled, you absolutely can dispute them. In fact, after it's settled, it's really the safest time because you can't get sued at that point. So then you can go hard on the disputing and calling them out and stuff like that. So if you are wanting to dispute a high balance charge off, I need you to make sure that you are at least on a payment plan, or you are you have paid it. Not you, Cecilia, but for the people who are asking. And thank you by the way. Yeah, every letter that I'm showing y'all is in a DIY kit, by the way. Score the night. Thank you. You ain't asked no question. Thank you so much. Who is this? Taishia. If I pronounce your name wrong, I'm half slow. I only know about credit. I don't know names, nor do I know math. No, I'm just playing. I ain't playing. I have a card charge off. It hasn't been repoed. The statute of limitations is over this October. Should I wait? Oh, I absolutely will wait. If you are within like a year, actually, wait, never mind. If you are within like 6 months to a year of in an account, like exiting the statute of limitations, I would not touch that, because a lot of companies are like looking for a way to re-age this account, and you disputing it, they're gonna like, I just wouldn't touch it. It's too risky. Let me see. Okay. Thank you, Miss J. You said I have a charge off on my credit report that was closed in 2013, but has been reported charged off every month since it closed. It's a high balance account. Is it worth challenging if it falls off 5/23? We're in 2000. That's a whole year. I mean, that's going to be a personal part. Like, that depends. Are you trying to buy anything? Are you trying to finance anything before May of 2023? If you can wait that long, then yeah, that's cool. If you don't have a year to wait, then you could start challenging them now. But I mean, that's just all up to you on if if you're gonna wait. I mean, you got less than a year. Well, you got about a year. So you chilling to then you're fine. Is a data first delinquency also called something else? I don't see data first delinquency on my smart credit report. So they won't say it. I think you probably asked that before I showed the example. So in order to actually see it is to get your real credit report. So you're not going to look at a smart credit. You're not going to, because remember, there's no substitution for your actual credit report. And I tell you guys this all the time because your real credit report will contain more information. So you're not going to see, hey, data first delinquency, but you will see right before in the payment history, right before the account was charged off, the last positive status is the data first delinquency. Thank you, Danielle, and thank you. How you say that? Magdalene? Did I get that right? That's pretty. Thank you, by the way. You said Danielle. Hey, Danielle. You said, "Hi, Shonda. I have a charge off repo for a car from July 2021. Is the data first delinquency different for repos? Is it too early to start the dispute process? I don't want to make the creditor mad and take me to court." So repossessions, because typically they are high balance charge-offs. Now, I don't know how much you owe, but I'm only going to assume because it is a repossession that it most likely is over $1,500. That's a high balance charge-off. So just as any other high balance charge-off or repossession, if you're within a statute of limitations, you have to be prepared to go to court, and because in my opinion, I don't think people should challenge repos in the first 2 to 3 years, because that is typically when you will then end up in court, or when a company will decide if it's worth suing you over or taking you to court. Now, when it comes to repos, because repos is obviously is not all charge-offs. Like most repossessions end in a charged-off status, but it's absolutely not all repos are charge-offs, right? When it comes to repos, what I personally like to challenge is the process after it was repoed. There are certain laws and guidelines around repossessing a vehicle that they have to follow, and a lot of times it's not. So it's like little things like inviting you to the auction. Did they give you a chance to purchase back your property before they wrote it off, right? If no, you can challenge that. Did they send you a bill of sale? Did they tell you, or I'm sorry, did they try to sell the property? Because a lot of these buy here, pay here car places, they'll either try to sell the car or junk the car or whatever, or they won't auction it off. And because they did not try to recuperate any of the funds, the full balance is passed on to you. Because they failed to send it to an auction, you can challenge that. You can say that they failed to try to recuperate any money, to pass all the money off on you. You can say something like that. Or when it comes to like things like evictions, because I seen somebody else just asking about evictions. Yeah, like the devil is in the details when it comes to your credit report. So when it comes to evictions, I like to challenge stuff like the move out inspection. A lot of times when it comes to evictions, they don't present the move out inspection on file. That has to be on file in most states, most. So if it's not on file in your eviction proceeding, I've gotten a lot of evictions deleted just from failure to having an inspection on file. So it's like the small things that you have to look for. And thank you, Danielle. And also thank you, Miss Tina K. You said, what happens if an account shows C, then next month it shows 180 days? Can you dispute this under a factual dispute? What do you mean? What do you mean it shows C or 180 days? I don't like, okay, so if you're talking about like 180 days within the payment history of the credit report, that's not wrong. They can definitely say like it's been 180 days. So there's nothing factually wrong about that. You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't consider that a strong factual dispute, because that is something that is factually correct. If it's 180 days, it's 180 days. Zaire, thank you, Zaire. So if it only says C for 2 years, suddenly it says charge off. What does that mean? Well, it shouldn't have been saying C for 2 years, because that would be a repeated. That's when you should send this letter. So already they messing up. So send this letter. Y'all seen it. I have showed it. I'll show y'all again. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Jay Lockett, again. Thank you again. You said I have filed official EQ reports. Charge off doesn't say. Oh, I have official Equifax reports. Charge off doesn't say transferred or sold. So then that's something that you can challenge. So you would say, the following account, and you would put the account name and the account number, and you would say it doesn't. Well, was it sold or transferred? I'm sorry. What? Because not every charge off is sold or transferred. That only will be like that will only be relevant to the accounts that were actually sold or transferred. All right. Oh shit, I got a few more. Thank you, Flaming Blaze. You say, is there a deadline to do disputes charge off over 2 to 3 years? Oh, hold on, yeah, I gotta make this bigger. I am struggling for my life trying to read what this say. Okay, so you said, is there a deadline to do disputes? No, there's no deadline. If it's still on your credit report, it's still within a time frame that you can dispute it. You said, but some no longer is doing the C. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. No, so that is the one caveat. So let's say, well, unless you can prove it, but I don't know how you would have proved that. Well, maybe you can. If it was previously reporting wrong and then they corrected it, you can't retroactively go back and say, hey, this was reporting wrong, but then you corrected it, so I want you to delete the account because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you catch it while it's still wrong, then it's like it's not gonna be a good dispute. And thank you. Why I can't click? Oh, here we go. Thank you, Anya. Shade the dollar. You said, if it displays like this, C dash dash dash, is this considered repeated collection? Yeah, if it's constantly yeah, the C dash, like it's C, then no data for a few months, and then C again, then no data for a few months. Yeah, that's still the same. Delicious said Capital One is suing me through an attorney, and Capital One always sues, and still updating. If they don't sue, they're going to send it to Midland or Portfolio for them to sue. And still updating and changing balance every month. They sent the request for admissions and production how to respond. You're gonna have to go to court. Capital One ain't gonna stop until you go to court or you settle it. So I would probably settle that with Capital One, because I'm telling you right now, they're not gonna stop until they sue you. So I would personally recommend that you settle them. It's not even necessarily in a disputing phase anymore, because if they send it to court, there's no letter that you can send to credit bureaus that's going to overturn what the judge decides, So credit repair is before court. Like, you have to deal with that after the judge comes in and makes a decision on a case. That is what stands. TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian does not hold the power over what a judge has ordered, So you want to make sure that if you can prevent it from going to court, you do, because you have more power that way. Because you already know that, not even that's because you already know that they're going to sue you. I'm telling you, Capital One going to sue you. So especially if they already have their attorney, just go ahead and settle it. It's not worth the headache. I promise you, it's not. A Capital One charge off is like probably. I'm trying to think of a person that's harder than them. Off the top of my head, I truly cannot think of a company that's harder than Capital One. I'm really trying to think, because Verizon is one of those fucking companies that's like, why are you this hard to get? Like, why do you hold on to these collections this tough? Thank you, Ray Niece. And Esther, you said charge off and collection agency are showing on my account. Will a pay to delete them both? Should I send both? Pay to delete is not going to work for the charge off, but it could work for the collection for sure. So a lot of times if your account was sold or transferred to a collection agency, a lot of times it's super easy to get the collection deleted, but you still have the charge off reporting. So that's kind of like one of those things. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Aisha. Damn, y'all short. What in the world? Let me wake up, because I was sleepy, but now I'm not. Child, her sticking up in all at this point. I only had one account. K and Zelles is the same account. Equifax says is verified. Also, it was only one account. I'm thinking that they bought them out. Let me Google that, because I really think that they joined forces. Did they? Did K Jeweler and Zelles join? Can somebody let me know? Because Google ain't letting me know. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what I just typed. K Jewelers and Zelles, the same company. Oh yeah. Okay, so they're owned by the same parent company. Okay, I knew that they were affiliated in some sort of way. So I still got a problem with them having two accounts on your credit report. Do they both have a balance? Because if they both have a balance, then you need to send the double jeopardy letter. I will send it anyway, because I don't understand why they're if you only have one account, why they're reporting two. And I'm gonna pull up the double jeopardy letter, because I've seen a few of you guys asking for it. So give me a second. Where is it? Double Jeopardy. Okay, here's the Double Jeopardy letter that you can send. Ooh. Oh, and Jared. Okay, yeah. I was like, I know they was affiliated in some way, child. I ain't know what. But that still don't explain why two different accounts would be on the credit report. That's what I'm more so concerned about, because they would have me effed up. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's yeah, no. I'm trying to justify, but there's no justification, because I don't give a hell if y'all the same company or not. So be with the same collection. Like, you're not gonna have two different collections. Like, that's ridiculous. All right, so here is the Double Jeopardy letter. Oh, I'm still sharing the other screen. Here is the Double Jeopardy letter for real this time. You look sleepy, girl. I am sleepy. I'm sleepy. Yeah, I know I'm an old lady. I'll be sleepy at 8 o'clock. All right, so that's the Double Jeopardy letter. Oh, let me move that off the screen so y'all can see. If I can find it, why it be like moving? All right. So here is, I'm gonna show y'all. Yes, my YouTube is road to 750. Here's the Double Jeopardy letter. So Double Jeopardy means that two companies are claiming ownership of the debt at the same time. So if you have a charged off account that was also sold to a collection agency, the charged off account has to now reflect a $0 balance and also reflect that it was transferred or sold. If it does not, then you need to send the Double Jeopardy letter. And the letter says, to whom it may concern, the following accounts are claiming to both own the same debt with a balance. As you know, this is not possible and also a violation of my rights. Because of this, both accounts needs to be removed from my credit report immediately due to you not properly validating the information in which a company has passed to you. Please delete immediately, and then you would just list both of the accounts at the bottom, and then you would write your name. Because again, never sign your name. Your ID, your ID, which you should send with every letter to the credit bureaus, that is your signature. That's all the signature that you need. You don't need to be writing your name or signing your Johnny Hancock on this paper or any other paper. Ouch. All right. So we almost done, y'all. I promise we almost done. I'm going to pull back up the presentation. Where is it at? Okay. Hold on. Oh, shit. Shoots. Where is that? Oh, right here. Okay. All right. We back at it. All right. So it says, okay, so things to look for on charge-off accounts. So when an account displays a status of charge-off, it means that the account is closed to future use. So again, it's a debt account. Although the debt is still owed, the credit grantor may continue to report the past due amount and the balance owed, but the payment history should not continue to update. So you guys know with collections, it's not supposed to have a payment history, a past due balance, nor a monthly payment. That's not the same for a charged off account. Because again, a charge-off account is with the original creditor, meaning you have a contract with the original creditor. So they are fully able to still report a past due balance. They are fully able to report a balance owed and also the previous payment history before the account was charged off. So if you had late payments and stuff like that, then it'll still be reflected on your credit report as well as be calculated into your credit score and your payment history percentage. So just because an account is closed or just because an account is charged off does not mean that it is no longer relevant to your score. That's if it's on your credit report, it's being calculated into your credit score, regardless of what status it's in. If it's on your credit report, it is being calculated into your credit score. So things charge-off accounts should not include. If a charge-off account is not deleted, I recommend to work out a payment agreement or settle the account. While it won't help your score much, an unpaid charge-off is held at a higher negative regard than any other account as it is considered a key derogatory. So for reference, a collection is considered a derogatory. Bankruptcies and charge-offs are considered key derogatory. So it means that they're bad because derogatory means it's a bad account, but like this is worse. You know, like basically that's what I mean. Like it's bad, but it's like worse than a collection. Meaning like even if you're not able to get them deleted, unlike a collection, I still would recommend that you work out a payment arrangement, work out a settlement or whatever. I recommend that you deal with them because it definitely will keep you from getting approved for credit cards or houses or cars and stuff like that. It could keep you. And if it doesn't keep you from getting approved, it absolutely will affect how much you are approved for. So you want to deal with charge-offs. Like you have to. It's not fun, but you do want to deal with them. A charge-off should not have an open account status. Oh, I don't even know how I haven't said this up until this point. So in order for an account to be charged off, the account would have had to been closed first. Therefore, your charge-off account should not be open. So if you have a charge-off on your credit report and it shows open, dispute that. Yeah, it's on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Road to 750. Dispute that. Dispute that. A balance if sold to a collection. So again, I keep repeating this, but again, if it's sold to a collection agency, then the charged off account should not have a balance, nor should it have an active payment history. So after 180 days, it's dead to any further changes. So it should not update. I don't care if it's just updating to tell you once again that it's been charged off, even though you knew it was charged off for a year now. Not sure why they would keep having to tell you that it's charged off, because it can only be charged off once, which is also, again, why it can't report a repeat charge off, because an account can only be charged off once. So there's no reason for you to constantly keep saying or keep flagging this account as a charged off account every single month. No, not happening. Charge-offs can collect interest, but only within 180 days of it being charged off. So if it's more than 6 months since it's been charged off, then no, it's closed to any further changes unless you are actively paying on it. All right. So that concludes. What letter? I'm missing a letter that I said that I was going to show you guys. But that concludes the charge-off presentation. Those are the only options as it pertains to disputing charge-off. Let me go back to this list on how to dispute them. It's basically 5 different types of charge-offs, and the high balance charge-off is going to be something that I don't have a blueprint to dispute because I don't want you to get sued. Low balance charge-offs, you dispute them exactly how I laid out. Bureau investigation letter, round 2, then a factual dispute. If your factual dispute does not result in a deletion, follow up on the factual dispute. And also, you still need to settle your charge off. So let me take some questions. I'll take some from TikTok as well. Jay Lockett, you said I have Let me move this presentation. Jay Lockett said I'm too close to the mic. I'm sorry if I'm yelling in your ear. I should have put on my headphones. That's what I was missing. I have a charge off. I don't know, where is it? I have charge offs fall off December 2022. Can I dispute it now? You can dispute it now. But I mean, are you doing something if you're not really buying a house or buying a car between now and December? I mean, I will wait personally because it's so close. And also, if it's within 6 months of the natural fall off date, so in your instance, it'll be December 2022. And what's 6 months from this? In around like July, I will call and ask them for an early exclusion of that record. If it's within like 6 months, most credit bureaus, depending on who you talk to, will go ahead and delete it. So I will call each one and be like, hey, you have to wait until like we're at least like in July, maybe. Well, yeah, like June or July, because that's like halfway. And then you can ask them to delete it early. Be like, hey, I'm closing on a home. This one account is preventing me from closing because it does fall off within 6 months. Would you be willing to go ahead and exclude this from my credit report early? And if the representatives say no, hang up on them and call back. Seriously. Can you talk about inquiries? Well, this live, I'm gonna keep it to only charge-offs, but you guys know now my new schedule with going live is hopefully it's gonna get to every other day, and we'll have topics. So that's definitely a topic that we could talk about. I just kind of feel like I don't know how we would conduct the entire live talking about inquiries because there's not really much to them. So it would have to be like with other topics. Thank you, Rainice. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea said, can it show high balance on any of the accounts? What you mean? Like a high balance means just how much you owe. So if you owe them more than $1,500, that's considered a high balance charge off. Can a charge off account show a balance? Yes. And thank you. Yeah, it can show a balance because you have a balance with them. They want to settle for $9.90 after 30 days with the receipt of paying in full. They will request a deletion of their trade line from the credit report. I would settle if they're gonna say they're gonna delete it. I would absolutely settle because that's on her. All right, I'm kind of feeling like you getting scammed somewhere. Like man, I don't know. That's just so unusual for Capital One. They're such a big company that that's so unusual for them. Truly, I don't know why they like doing you like that. Really. You said I have a charge off repo is what my report says, but I am still in possession of the vehicle. How can I dispute it? Okay, so was the car ever charged off? Because a lot of times not charged off, repossessed. When a lot of times when it comes to repossessions, it'll be repossessed and then you'll get it back like the same day or the next day or the next week. That's still technically considered a repossession and it'll still report as a repossession. And that's a legal thing, which is it's crazy. It doesn't make sense. It's the same thing as like if someone start the bankruptcy process and even if they don't finish it, they can still have a bankruptcy report on their credit report. It's ridiculous, but that's one of the same things. If the car was even repossessed for a minute, like it's considered a repossessed vehicle. And being that you still have possession of the vehicle and you're still paying on it, you challenging that is going to only cause them to close the account, and you don't want that. Hey, do you offer phone conversations for DIY customers? I bought your DIY kit. Would love to have so I don't offer one-on-ones right now. Unfortunately, I don't offer them right now. Oh my God, I'm like so stuck. It's like I get more stuffy when I start talking. It's probably so normal. A paid charge off? Yeah, you probably joined the live. You're probably gonna have to go to YouTube and rewatch the thing because we did discuss that. So paid charge offs, it's already legally validated. So basically what you need to look for is the factual dispute, any inaccuracies, any inconsistencies on that account, and that's what you're gonna like challenge. Any experience with Westlake Financial? Yeah, I have a lot of experience with them. They ain't nobody like Westlake is not typically like that crazily hard. I had a reporting in January of 2019 and February of 2019. Is this right? Should I dispute this? I had a reporting in January of 2019 and February. A reporting? Shay, what you mean? What you mean? A reporting? I already answered that. And thank you. Thank you, by the way. All right. Kimberly said, if only one credit bureau is reporting CO every month on my account, do I still send the charge off letter to the other three? So no, in that situation, because you are specifically only challenging one credit bureau because they are reporting CO every month, then there's no point in you sending like the repeat charge off letter to the other two bureaus. So I would only send that to the one that's reporting CO every month. Why isn't my Experian reporting CO every month? I'm gonna be honest, Experian is the one that I catch the least like inconsistency and mistakes with. Equifax is the most likely one to have mistakes. Experian, they are the ones that I least catch. Okay, Jared. What if two companies are trying to collect the same debt? One company is on my reports and the other is sending the collection letters. That just means that the company that's on your report has sold your collection. So send a debt validation letter now. Like send it now, because literally I don't even know if it's too late because I don't know when they sent it, but it's probably reaching that point. You need to send a debt validation letter to the new collection agency immediately, because you could potentially stop this whole thing from happening by just requesting the new collection agency to validate it, because you're still within the dunning period. So send a debt validation letter right now. My YouTube is rolled to 750. All right. So Nakia said, and thank you. Nakia said, hi. If we manage to get the charge off deleted, does delay payments go away also? Yes. So if the charge off account is deleted, then the entire payment history is deleted as well. So the late payments are deleted as well as the on-time payments. So the entire account and its history is going to be deleted. Shatavius, I think. Shatavius said, when should the 6F challenge be used? Like for what type of scenario? So the 6F challenge is the perfect blanket dispute. So if you don't have a specific dispute reason, or if you have did the DIY kit and that has not been successful for you, the 6-step is the perfect follow-up. Like literally the perfect follow-up, because it does challenge the account in a different way. So it's not like you're going to be stalled because you are challenging the same account. You're challenging it in a different way. So they can be used. It can be used as a follow-up. Thank you, Aisha. You said so. My report say collection charge off and it's reporting a balance, but I paid it and I have the money order to prove that I paid it. So what do I do? Send a copy of the money order to the credit bureaus and a short letter saying, hey, this account, I'm not liable for this account anymore. This account was paid. Here's proof. And because of this neglect, well, yeah, I would just say because of you neglecting this, I'm requesting a deletion. Listen, everything is always because you neglected. I'm requesting a deletion. Listen, that's a hot topic word with the credit bureaus. Neglect or fail to investigate. Those are like key terms that their system will pick up, and it typically will. I can't say that on live, but that's a key word for them. So like use terms like that, like because you failed to investigate, or like placing the blame on the credit bureaus helps you get deletions if you can prove that they did something wrong. Because what happens is a lot of times the credit bureaus will try to like wash their hands of it. They'll try to be like, we just getting the information from the company. It's not our account. We just reported it. They'll try to they will always try to pass blame onto the company. Even when it comes to inquiries or anything, you got to contact the company. So when you can show that it's something that they did that's incorrect, that's my favorite. If I have an account that shows CO, do I still need to send a round 2 letter, or do I need to just send the repeat charge off? No, you can't. Remember when I said, like, I know the first 2 letters seem so stupid to a lot of people, but it's important that you send them because you still have to abide by your consumer rights. It says that you first need to go to the credit bureaus to request an investigation. And then it says if you don't agree with the investigation, then ask them to reinvestigate it. So in order, if you ever, let's say this account is not deleted, right? And something is factually wrong with the account, and you need to file a CFPB report, file a report with the attorney general, or even sue the credit bureaus. If you can't prove that you went through the proper chain of command, then you legally can't even sue them. So those are there as placeholders used to protect you in the event that you have to take this thing further. Especially when it comes to bankruptcies and stuff like that typically will end up in like a CFPB complaint or like sometimes even court. You want to make sure that you follow by the right process. Thank you, Bree. Pretty young one. You said an account has a 0 balance and it has been transferred and sold, but it's reporting a monthly payment. Experian won't delete. What do I do? You talking about a charge off? If it's not a collection, it can report a monthly payment. So that would be considered correct, unfortunately. Thank you, Rodney Whitehead. Thank you. Latoya, you said, what if Capital One charge off is reporting a balance? And thank you, by the way, Latoya. What if Capital One charge off is reporting a balance and says transfer for recovery? Radius Global is trying to collect on it at the moment. Oh, that's funny. Hold on. Radius Global. Wait. Not they did. Hold on. Y'all be letting me know about something. What I'm looking for, by the way, if you're unaware, I'm trying to see when this whole Radius and Capital One thing started because they had stopped using them. So hold on. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna assume that because they sold that account to Radius Global, it's not a suable account. How much you owe? You must not owe them that much. I don't feel like that's a suable account because why would they send it to Radius? Radius don't really be suing. That's just a talk. That's just inside talk. Everything I just said, don't even disregard. But I want to know more personally. How much do you owe Capital One? Because I'm trying to figure out when do they decide to send them to Radius versus like a debt buyer. Because Radius is no different from ABC Collection. Like they sold dispute charge off account. And thank you, Latoya, and thank you, Jay Lockett. I've been saying you repeatedly. Thank you a lot, Jay Lockett. You said dispute charge off account. I was open. They just closed it. They should have closed it. So now that it's closed, it's correct. When it was open, it wasn't correct. So they corrected their mistake. I have a patient first collection that was 123. It's now a collection for 301 and reporting every month. Do I start with the collection agency or the credit bureau? So you always want to start with the collection agency, but when it comes to medical collections, I will recommend that you go straight to my HIPAA letters, the 2-part system for medical collections. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go and view the collection live that I did the other day. We discussed medical collections. I did not call Alexa name. I don't know what she's doing. If T-Mobile breach, I owe them. What should I do? What do you mean? Are you talking about because I know that they had the breach, but why are you saying like? Are you asking like is that going to help you get them deleted? Because if that's what you're asking, then so no, the breach doesn't hold any regard on if you actually owe T-Mobile. But I will say because T-Mobile has not sold. No, that's Sprint. If you have a Sprint collection right now, it's a really good time to dispute them because they've been dropping like flies. That's not T-Mobile. I'm sorry. It was Sprint. Sorry. All right, you said open August 2008, and thank you, Quincy, as well as Natasha. You said open August 18th, 2015. Last payment, amendment statute of limitations is 3 years, 521, nothing showing after 11. What should I do with this? Okay, so it's outside of the statute of limitations then. Should go crazy. Go crazy. You can't get sued. No, I'm just playing. That was for credit bootcamp. The homework was to identify all of. So look, I can give y'all homework. So y'all homework tonight is to get your credit reports and identify all of your charged off accounts. So go to annualcreditreport.com, print out or download your credit reports. It's free. And then look through your credit reports and look at every single account on your credit reports and determine which one of those are charged off accounts. All of your charged off accounts should be written down on a piece of paper. Now you need to identify which ones you're going to challenge. So if you have high balance charge-offs, you probably don't want to challenge those. But if you have low balance charge-offs, then go ahead and fill out round 1 letter and send that off. So that's the homework. Is Jefferson Capital hard to dispute? No, they typically are going to kind of like hold like utilities, cell phone, cable, and stuff like that. I only find that they're really difficult to deal with when it comes to like utility bills, and that's only because utility bills are just a little more difficult because most people you're gonna have to take care of that anyway, especially if you want to use the services again. So, and also, well, I don't want to talk about third party reporting today, but it has a big impact on that. So, I would say that's the only way. Is it okay to dispute middling in portfolio? Yeah, but I mean, like I said, they are one trick pony. Like you just have to be prepared for if they take you to court, not if when they take you to court, because it's probably what they're going to do anyway. Thank you, Shania. Thank you. I have health insurance, but the faculty sent me 2 collections. What should I do? So you can have health insurance and still have medical collections. It all depends on maybe your insurance company did not cover that particular thing. I don't, know the details, but what I would recommend you do is to ask your health insurance company for an EOB, which is a explanation of benefits, to determine how much they pay versus how much you owe, because that's all you would owe, and that's the max amount that could be on your credit report when it comes to that medical collection. Charge-off was back in 2018, and now charge-off started over in 2022 on codes. Would that be inaccurate? Oh yeah, definitely. Anytime it restarts, that's already a no. And thank you, Dominique. Miss Tina, thank you. You say history was CC, then changed to 180, 180. But hold on, yeah, I just heard a bang. But oh, you good? Okay, my bad. I just heard a big old bang. What you were saying? Okay, history was CC, then changed to 180. Okay, so I have seen that because after 180, remember when I told you after 180 they have to make all of the changes that they have to make in the account, and then as soon as it comes, it's done. A lot of times they will mark that as 180, but then after that, I wouldn't accept the second 180. Okay, that's the iPad. I keep hearing Kylie. Oh, okay. My bad, yeah. Yeah. So the second 180 I would challenge because now you're updating it for no reason. You skipped my question. I'm sorry, Bradley. What was it? Oof. Why I hate that these words are small as hell. I mean, and I'm blind, but like, dang. Bradley, what was it? You don't gotta just I'm gonna be looking for your name. What was it? What was your question? You said it's Shandell Life. Thank you. You said $5,000 charge off Capital One. Last activity was 2018. What should I do? Capital One is going to sue you if you try to challenge a $5,000 charge off. Like, I personally would not do that unless you're ready to settle it. And thank you, Carvin. Thank you, Carvin Brown. Let me see. Danielle, you said, I view my report, and thank you. I view my report and the repo has inaccuracies like date of last payment, date of first delinquency, date open. Should I avoid disputing? You just gave 3 reasons why you should be disputing. I wouldn't avoid it if it has inaccuracies. Inaccuracies is good for you because then you can use it as leverage. Medical debt can legally post on your credit report. Y'all gotta quit saying that. The law states that medical collections can legally report on your credit report, but what it does report, your information has to be protected. But we talked about medical collections last week. I don't want to bore you guys with that again, but medical collections absolutely can legally be on your credit report. If your Capital One account is sent to portfolio, does that guarantee you're going to be sued? So no, it's no guarantees, but probably 90% of the time you probably will be. Especially depending on your balance. Oh Lord. Ronnie said, please answer my pay question. Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Ronnie. Okay. I don't even like the tone. This not okay. Whatever you pay, I will send back because I'm too sleepy to deal with this right now. Don't say, I don't like how you said that. Like, don't. First of all, I never said, hey guys, this is consultation. I'm gonna leave it alone. Who was next? Malika said, is there a way to remove a charge off with a bank that I paid back? It's not reporting anymore. Is there a way to remove a charge? Wait, you say, is there a way to remove a charge off with a bank that I pay back? It's not reporting anymore. So if it's not report, what you mean when you say, it's not like updating? No, I mean, because a paid charge off nor a paid collection does not entitle you to a deletion. So the only way that you will be able to remove it is if you challenge it, like, normally. Now you can challenge, being that you paid it, you're not going to get sued. So I would absolutely be looking and going through my reports with a fine-tooth comb to see if there are any mistakes on that account. Because I would absolutely challenge it. And thank you. What's your name? Malika. Thank you. Y'all can stop sending it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want it to turn into, because now it's starting to, I have a city, and not you guys, it's just, I don't want to get misconstrued on what we are actually doing here. This is the charge off. I mean, the live is just about charge offs. And I don't want you guys to feel like, she's taking my money. No, don't, like, I don't ask for donations ever. I do ask for likes. So if you learn something, I absolutely do want you to like the video, but don't ever feel like you got to ever donate anything. I don't even know how to turn it off. I just don't look. We can't start that because nah. I have a Citibank account that's closed, but reporting closed every month. Reporting closed every month? What you mean reporting closed every month? Like, you're saying like in the payment history or like just the account status? Is your Capital One account? Oh, you already answered that. Do I need to pay a balance before mailing letters? No. I went to pull my reports, but I couldn't because I have accounts and disputes. Is that normal? Yes, it is. You disputed online? Did you dispute online? Don't ever dispute online. But that is normal. 854 balance, date of first delinquency is May 2019. So it's new. I mean, well, it's 2022. So that's about almost 4 years old. Y'all stressing me out now because now somebody else saying I skipped their question. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn off this thing because I can't. What was your question? Hold on. I went to pull my reports, but I couldn't because I already answered that. If you settle a charge off and now shows 0, can I still dispute it to be deleted? Yeah, you absolutely can dispute it even after you pay it. You can definitely dispute it even after you paid it. And thank you. Teresa said, high balance charge off with tons of discrepancies. Can I dispute and have it deleted? So again, being that it's high balance, so for me, high balance like takes precedent over everything because of the risk of going to court. You get what I'm saying? So even if it is, you do find discrepancies, that's something that you have to determine if it's worth it, because yeah, you do have a high chance of getting it deleted, but you also have a high chance of being sued. So because you got to keep in mind, even if an account is deleted from your credit report, it doesn't rid you of the debt, so you can still be sued. So you just have to decide, like, if you're willing to take that chance, to be honest, depending on how the amount, like if it's over, I would say like 5,000, no, I'm not gonna take the chance. No, I'm not trying to. It's just the point. I don't want you guys to like think like, let me just send something and then she has to answer every question, because y'all know I'll be looking at the presentation. It's just not that. I don't do consultations, so I just now I feel obligated. And people are mad. Like I don't have the time. I just would rather it not be sent. Like I don't listen. Oh shit, child, y'all done stressed me out. I'm stressed out now. Okay, hold on. High balance charge off with tons of discrepancies. Can I dispute and have it deleted? Oh, I already answered that. I have done several factual disputes and requested deletion, and they just update the file. Do they ever delete? How can I force a deletion? So you're probably going through a cycle with them, and you probably are going to have to like chill out for like 90 days to let all of your investigations end, and then you start all over, like literally all over, like start the process completely over. Is it okay to put several factuals wrong on the same letter? So I will wait, because you don't want them to just update everything and then you don't have anything else to say. So I don't put all of them on the same letter personally. And thank you. LS, you say, is it okay? Oh, all right, I just asked that. Vanjie said, once the Capital One account was paid through a settlement, can I or should I delete it from the bureaus? Once the Capital One account was paid through a settlement, can I or should I delete it? I would look to see if there are any factual errors on the account, and then I would challenge that. Stressed out, girl. Stressed the fuck out now, because now I'm like, no. I know that, but it was they was getting mad, and I'm just like, wait. Let me make sure I'm not missing any else. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. Like I promise you, if you tell me, I will send it back. Like I really would. Please, y'all don't. You know what? I don't even want to have that conversation again. With the data first delinquency being different with two different credit bureaus, would I send a factual dispute and what to state? Yeah, I would send a factual dispute, and I would make it seem like both of them are in a wrong. So the letter that I'm gonna send to TransUnion, I'm gonna say, look, you got a different date than Experian. And then the letter that I'm gonna send to Experian is gonna be, hey, look, you got a different date than Equifax, because theoretically you don't know which one right. So if you don't know which one is right, then both of them are wrong. That's my motto. If I don't know which one is right, then all of y'all are wrong. You settled it. Well, shoot, if you settled it, then it ain't. So high balance mean what you currently owe. It can't be a high balance charge off if you settled it, because the balance is zero. So even if it was previously had a high balance, you settling it changed it from a high balance charge off to now a paid charge off. Can you send more than one letter at the same time? Yeah, but you can't challenge the same account more than one way at the same time, if that makes sense. So like you can send, like, let's say for instance, you want to challenge your personal information, but then you also have a collection, but then you also have increase. Those are three different letters that you can send at the same time, because they're challenging three different things. You wouldn't send this Capital One account, this is wrong, this thing is wrong with it, and then also this is wrong with it. You wouldn't send two different letters for the same account for different disputes at the same time. Ooh, that was a tongue twister, and I'm sure that probably like sounded crazy. But don't dispute the same account more than one way at the same time. You squint with glasses because I'm blind. I'm really blind. Like in real life, I'm blind. And I'm thinking about getting LASIK. I've been thinking about it for a year. A bill not mine in collection. So if it's not yours, was it identity theft? Did someone steal your identity, or is it someone that you know? But I mean, I would tell them, hey, this is not me. I don't owe you. I would, first of all, I would send a debt validation letter to the collection agency, because who does this collection belong to? It ain't me. And I will start there first, just to see what they are going to respond with, see if they'll be able to actually validate it, see if they'll just go ahead and remove it. Because a lot of times, if they had a wrong person, they'll go ahead and remove it. So that's the only time I would actually start with the collection agency, if you don't, like, if it's not yours. Is it on your credit report? Yeah, you said it's in collection, so yeah, it's on your credit report. Yeah, girl, I can't see nothing. Like, literally, I'm so blind. My mom and my dad blind though. I have a $135 Wells Fargo charge off, so I dispute or settle it. I don't mind paying it, honestly, but I saying Wells Fargo don't delete. Yeah, Wells Fargo is not going to delete it. But remember when I was like, even if it's a charge off, I still settle those, even if they're not going to be deleted, because they do still have a heavy impact on all of your credit decisions, regardless how old it is, or whatever. So if it has a balance, I would settle it. You owe $135, I would offer them $30. I would offer them $20. I would say, look, I have $19. I have $20. Take it or leave it. They're probably going to be like, oh, well, we can't do nothing less than like $50, $60. So that's where like the negotiating process will start. But yeah. Thank you, Andrea. And I see a lot of y'all comments. No, definitely. Thank y'all. Y'all know it's never going to be no love lost. We cousins. We listen. Sometimes we get into it. Sometimes we got to check each other. So it's still love. Even to Rodney. I just ain't like the tone. It just felt a little demanding. I have a charge off account reporting every month, but the balance is $14.87. Should I still fight it? You right on the line. Yeah, I would still fight it. $1,400. I don't feel like they're gonna take you to court over that. But I mean, they could, but I would challenge that. Yeah. Thank you, JB. JB, stop. You keep sending stuff. Oh my God. At this point, I'm gonna order crab legs. No, I'm just playing. I cannot find no good crab legs near me. That's another thing. I done moved and ain't had no good crab legs since I moved. I did not mean to put that on. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here. I'm so freaking sleepy. Jay Lockett. Jay Lockett is another one. You keep freaking donating. I love y'all. Student loan TR. TR. Why am I not connecting with TR? Transfer sold. Do I dispute? No. I need to do a live on just student loans, real talk. What y'all want the next live to be? That's what I meant to say. So vote. If you want the next live to be about bankruptcies, put 1. If you want the next live to be about the third-party entities, you know what? I really think that should be the next live. Truthfully, I really think that should be the next live. The third-party entities, because they are very important. You had 3 sips. I'm hella lightweight. Yeah. Student loan. Let's do the third party. Like, I feel like that's more beneficial. 1. Yeah. Okay, so we could do student loans, but student loans ain't gonna be that long because it really. So we'll do student loans and increase in the same one, because those are both 2 short topics. But the third party entities, I'm telling you, y'all sleeping on that information. I'm telling you. I know you probably think like they don't. Yeah, it'll stay on YouTube. I think we should. I'm gonna do third parties next, and then we'll do student loans. Because student loan, what we gonna say about student loans? All I'm gonna say is keep your student loans. Y'all know how I already feel about student loans. Keep them, because they help in your credit report. Do a whole lot about Oscar. They ain't nothing but just the messaging system. They're not as important. They're not as like, I don't know. All right, y'all. So I will save this on YouTube. So if you did not catch it, make sure you go back and watch it. Next free webinar is going to be the third party entities, just because I really do want to like have a centralized video for that. And then it's just so much important information. So we'll do that. And today is Saturday, so Monday is going to be the next free webinar. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and follow me on all of my social platforms, because I talk about credit every day. So if you have a question, I do Q&As on TikTok almost like every day. So make sure you follow me on TikTok and also the other platforms. getting rid of medical collections. I did that live the other day. So go back to the 2 videos from this video and look at the collections live. But I really love you guys. I feel like I was a little tooty today, and I ain't really like my energy today. So I'm gonna go ahead and apologize about that, because y'all know how I am about positive energy, and I don't feel like my energy reflected that. So I'm gonna hold my own self accountable, because my attitude was a little stank today. But I'm sleepy. But I still love you guys, and if I missed your question, I am so sorry. Like, genuinely, I'm sorry. And I will talk to you guys Monday. Monday. I may go live tomorrow, but it'll be like, it won't be a webinar. It'll just be like Q&A on TikTok. So make sure you guys are following me. I really love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Yeah, we'll talk. Bye.